Therefore, you have to create two lists and maintain them through the design study. Any assumptions you make during requirements and design process, including the rationale or thought process behind those assumptions. Assumptions may be used to identify related sub-projects of items of work, which are outside the scope of or after this project and major issues. These issues should be reviewed with the customer at the end of each phase. The assumptions need to be reviewed also at the end of each phase, but the customer might not always be the correct person for less important ones. Assumptions and issues apply to all artifacts but are particularly common for non-functional requirements. In the next section, we have to mention about exclusions. It is a list of functional units which will not be intended to be developed or discussed during any point of the project development. Time constraints or lack of resources for the fulfillment of required tasks or any sort of constraint preventing the completion of the functional unit could be described here. Next is the application architecture. It defines overall application architecture. For example, whether we are going for a 2-tier architecture or it would be a 3-tier architecture. It must contain a diagram depicting the system architecture properly. Architecture is the highest level concept of a system in its environment. The architecture of a software system at any given point in time is its organization or structure of significant components interacting through interfaces. Those components being composed of successively smaller components and interfaces. Architecture can also be defined as the organizational structure of the system. Architecture can be recursively decomposed into parts that interact through interfaces, relationships that connect parts, and constraints for assembling parts. Parts that interact through interfaces include classes, components, and subsystems. There are a number of typical patterns of distribution in system, depending upon the functionality of the system and the type of application. In many cases, the distribution pattern is informally used to describe the architecture of the system. Through the full architecture encompasses this, but also many more things. For example, many times a system will be described as having client-server architecture, although this is only the distribution aspect of the architecture. Next element is the Gantt chart. The Gantt chart enumerates the activities to be performed on the vertical axis and their corresponding duration on the horizontal axis. It is possible to schedule activities by either early start or late start logic. In the early start approach, each activity is initiated as early as possible without violating the precedence relation. In late start approach, each activity is delayed as much as possible as long the earliest finish time of the project is not compromised. In the next section, we have to write about the hardware and software specification, any specific type of hardware, machine type required, any specific operating system required, or other utilities which are required we have to mention in this section. Then we have to write about tools and techniques used with reasoning. In application tool which are to be used on the front and back end of the system to be developed should be listed. The reason for these tools should also be enlisted. Identify what the needs for tool support are and what are the constraints by looking at the following. There are two types of tools, designing tools and development tools. Designing tools में use हो सकती हैं rational rows, UML for designing use cases or process diagram. Then in the development tools, we can use Eclipse for Java, existing tools, and etc. So this was the end of the lecture. Hope you all understand it well. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.